Welcome to Live on Purpose Radio with Dr. Paul Jenkins, where you will hear inspiring stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Feed your mind with a regular dose of positive energy and show up for your life every day on purpose. Living on purpose means that you have a purpose and you do it intentionally. And now, here's your host, Dr. Paul. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Live on Purpose Radio. This is Dr. Paul, the shrink, who expands your life, promoting once again pathological positivity. At Live on Purpose Radio, my amazing guest today is the one, the only, Robert Ferre.
Yes, if you want to go that way. People also call me DJ Rob.
DJ Rob.
Like you're Dr. Paul, I can be DJ Rob.
That you absolutely can.
Yeah.
That's a very impressive credential. Thank you for bringing that today.
Yes, I have my PhD in DJing.
Nice.
I worked really hard, about 10 years on that. You know, I went to my residency my residency is actually in Orlando, and we can talk about that here in a minute. So, but yeah, I always tell people that. I said I got my MFE in Masters of Family Entertainment in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, there you go.
I just made that up, but that was my degree. I did my 3 years. Residencies usually about 3 years, right?
Well, it depends on how fast you do them.
Yeah, exactly. So my residency was in Orlando, Florida.
Long-term plan.
Yeah. So I got my Master's of Family Entertainment in Orlando, Florida. It's a degree I made up.
Entertainment. Rob, you are an entertainer.
Yes, that is me.
You like to take people and raise their spirits.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great passion of mine.
Which is awesome, and
Yeah.
one reason that you're here at Live on Purpose Radio.
Yes.
So you're a DJ, you do events, you
Yes.
do weddings, bar mitzvahs,
Yes.
parties,
Yes.
corporate events.
Yes.
But more recently, you're getting into the world of speaking.
Yeah.
Because you have a message too, and you do it in an entertaining way.
Yeah. And I'm looking to kind of diversify what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a point where I don't want to be doing these bar mitzvahs in about 10 years. And we're constantly evolving. Mm-hmm. Everybody evolves. They evolve their career. They evolve what they do. And
Sure.
when you say message, I think it's a great way to spread who you are and with other people.
Right.
I have one of the greatest jobs in the world where I get to entertain people at their greatest celebrations in life. Their celebrations of their weddings. Bar mitzvahs is a celebration of life from, 13-year-olds, men and women, a boy turning into a man, a girl turning into a woman.
Right.
And these are their celebrations in life. And I get to be at those amazing celebrations. And now I want to be at the celebrations in the corporate world where people get to celebrate each other in their award ceremonies, in their conferences, their conventions.
Right. Wherever people gather for important reasons.
Yeah. And I love it because I get to feed off the energy of the people.
So, Rob, I'm guessing that this just didn't happen. It didn't just fall in your lap. There's been a process or a path that you've been on.
Yes. And so this is part of a keynote I want to develop. And
develop it here.
Yes,
we're ready for
we'll talk about it. Everybody's going to be like, oh, so this is how he did it. He did it with Dr. Paul. So something I want to develop, it all started with a glove. Have you ever heard Walt Disney say it all started with a mouse?
Yes.
Sure. His whole empire all started with a mouse. For me, it all started with a glove.
Okay.
I was at a performance of Farley Family Reunion. I'm familiar with it. James Arrington.
We love y'all so much.
Yes, it's a one-man show about a Utah family reunion, and he plays all the characters. Yeah. In the middle of the show, they bring in this terrible magician, and he does this thing called the Polish Magic Show. I was enthralled the first time I saw that. We bought the video cassette.
Now, this is one of the characters that James plays in.
Yes.
Okay.
So they do this family reunion, and for their entertainment for the reunion is a magician.
Got it.
And he does the finger magic.
Remember, one-man show.
One-man show.
Right.
So, he leaves, he changes, and he comes back as a different character. He leaves, he changes.
Right. Okay.
And there's one constant character, which is Grandpa, who's the master of ceremonies for the event. And then they bring in Grandma, the returned missionary, all these different characters.
Yeah.
So they bring in this magician who does this finger magic. It's basically fake magic. It's just terrible. Yeah,
right.
Okay,
We've all seen it.
So I studied that, and I started doing that all throughout elementary school. And then I took that to different phases of my life, high school assemblies. And once I did it in high school, everybody wanted to see it every year in the assemblies.
Rob, you were like the class clown.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But the class clown usually doesn't make it in life. I considered I made it in life.
You're the class clown with a business plan.
Exactly. I want to capitalize on my clownism, and I have not gone to clowning school. So from there, I went to college, and I did the Polish magic show in college. But I use that kind of as a thing that kind of catapulted my love for entertainment. And I did a variety of entertainment through high school. I was in theater and those type of things. And then I went to college and I did TV and radio and I loved it. And I also did improv comedy. I did a couple productions. And I went to Southern Utah University where they give you the opportunity to be in everything.
Yeah.
It was such a great campus to be on. And so I was involved in almost every aspect of college life.
Yeah, nice.
So I graduate from college, and I'm like, what am I going to do with life? Am I going to be in TV and radio? Do I go to no-name town, Idaho, and start my career
broadcasting?
Career? Yeah. Could I be a sportsman? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do sports. But guess what I did? I instead went to Orlando, Florida to work for Mickey Mouse. And so I had this college degree, and they said, this is an internship. And so I was really excited. It's called the college program. And if you have kids who are thinking about it, it's a really great experience. I suggest you do it while you're still in college, not after you graduate. Because I graduated from college, and they gave me a position working in the parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah. How exciting is that?
Yeah.
So I would help park
the
cars.
happiest place on earth.
Yeah. I was working in the parking lot at MGM Studios, that it used to be called, the studios. I would park cars with my, wave them in. Then we would also drive the trams, and we would spiel, as we call it, on the trams. And what I loved about spieling is I made it my own.
Of course.
Because the one thing I wanted to do was graduate from the tram to the best ride that you can spiel on, which is the Jungle Cruise.
Oh.
Have you ever been on that ride?
Yes.
So I made it my own. I had a great time. My best memory is from spieling on the tram is all the people get off. It was at the end of the day. We're loading up all the trams, and I had this whole thing scripted out. I had it all written down, and I just had this amazing flow. This guy comes up to me afterwards, and he's like, we're not supposed to accept tips, but I did this day. He said, you just made our day perfect. You ended our day just perfectly. And he gave me a $20 tip. And I was like, yes, I did it. So I graduated from the Jungle Cruise. I mean, from the tram to the Jungle Cruise.
Parking lot cruise.
Yes, exactly. I kind of basically made the parking lot.
You created a new attraction, a new ride.
Exactly. So I went from there to the Jungle Cruise. Also, during my college program, they had a talent show. And what did I do at that talent show? The Polish magic show.
Yeah, that you've been practicing ever since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And a guy, my mentor, he was DJing that talent show. He was the audio, the MC for the event, and he just said, you have something that I want to develop. Have you ever thought about becoming a DJ? I was like, well, I was a radio DJ. He's like, no, interactive DJ. And so he took me a part of his company, and he trained me. And after that, I became, a DJ in theme parks. I worked at Universal Studios. I would DJ for people while they were waiting in line to go on the Spider-Man ride.
Oh, nice.
I would entertain people. I had a captive audience. The great thing about that captive audience, it would be a new audience 10 minutes later.
It refreshes every
it refreshes every 10 minutes. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'll use the same jokes.
You get to practice your spiel.
Exactly. So I got to do that. And then I worked at Nickelodeon Studios. Not studios, the hotel. And the great thing about that is Nickelodeon is all about sliming people in game shows, and that's what we did. And I had such a great time there, and that's where I get my game show stuff. Because I always say to people, if I could
do this for your events, right?
Yes, if I could be anything, I want to be a game show host. I want to be Drew Carey. So, though I'm not in LA right now, I'm making game shows at people's events. And so I'm a game show host for people's events. So I also tout that.
You're creating something that didn't exist.
Right.
Which is really cool. And it really tickles my little creative fancy when I hear you talk about this, because what you're doing is taking some unique skills and talents and weirdnesses that are yours and putting them out there in a way that actually creates value for other people.
Yeah.
And there's an economic impact to that.
Yes.
I'm also suspecting, Rob, that there are some principles behind this that you have learned in this process. Because this conversation, even though it's you and me on the mics, it's not about us.
No.
It's about you, dear listener, whoever's got these headphones on right now. How does this apply to our listeners? What have you learned? People's
success is based on themselves, but the biggest success to you are the people that believe in you. Somebody believed in me. Somebody was an advocate for me. Somebody was a champion of me. My first mentor, DJ Elliot, he's amazing. He
believed in me. This is an actual title, DJ Rob.
No, not really.
We're elevating it to that level.
Right, but there's people all over the world who are DJs, and, they're like, I'm DJ. Well, I just met one of the best DJs ever. His name's DJ Jazzy Jeff. He used to be with the Fresh Prince, Will Smith.
Yeah.
But, you can say, I'm DJ so-and-so, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Or some of the newer DJs these days, they just have a name, Cascade, Skrillex.
And it's a single name.
Yes, it's a single name.
So
Elliot believed in me. He mentored me. He showed me what he knew, and he wanted me to be like him.
He showed you what he knew?
Yes, he mentored me.
Wait a minute. How can you share what you're doing, what you know, with someone else? Is that an okay business practice? What?
Well, because of him, I am where I am today.
Right.
And there was this time where he crashed his motorcycle. He was like on his deathbed. He didn't die.
Ooh.
But he called me up and he said to me, he was like, I am so proud of you. I am so happy that I was able to mentor you and give you these skills because you are doing what you love. And this is what I love. He shared what he loved with me because he saw a passion for it within me, and he thought, this is something he should be doing because other people need to be doing this.
So we're opening up an interesting principle here.
Yes.
That to me gets back to a really basic fundamental concept of abundance versus scarcity.
Yes.
And in a mindset of scarcity, people hang on to or cling to or hoard all to me.
Yes.
As opposed to what you're suggesting here, that there was a process that happened with DJ Elliot, where he was willing to share and in a sense of abundance, tell you the secrets of the trade.
Yeah.
And that created additional opportunities, obviously for you.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that blessed his life as well.
Yeah, it does. And he was the guy who DJ'd my wedding. Everybody asked me when I got married or was engaged.
You can't DJ your own wedding.
Right. Who's going to DJ a DJ's wedding? And he DJ'd my wedding.
Yeah.
And the scarcity thought, and we can probably talk about this a little bit more, but everybody is worried about what they're not getting. And is there enough business for me? But guess what? There is.
There's plenty. And from an abundance mindset, you can create even more.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. Okay, I think we've got this started well. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. Thank you for listening to Live on Purpose Radio. We're so glad to have you here. Please come by the website, drpauljenkins.com, spelled with a DR, drpauljenkins.com. On the website, you'll have an opportunity to receive a free download. And while you're there, make sure you click on the social media icons. Come over to Facebook, where we will be posting these episodes as well as our YouTube videos and other content and announcements for you to share. Please like us, comment, subscribe, join the conversation. We're happy to have you with us here at Live on Purpose Radio. Let's all support each other to live on purpose. drpauljenkins.com.
Hi, my name is Chris Crone, and thank you for listening to Live on Purpose Radio. I became financially independent, starting from nothing, by the age of 26. My purpose is to financially liberate the captive. Are you searching for a realistic, proven system in real estate to create enough residual income to retire or fund your dreams? I invite you to learn about a passive, turnkey, proven system and approach to real estate where my team of 200 experts can do all the heavy lifting to create the freedom you're searching for. Visit www.liveonpurpose.strongbrook.com to get a free copy of my book, The Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. Just enter the code FREE at www.liveonpurpose.strongbrook.com.
Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two steps of the surest stepping stones to success. Dale Carnegie.
So, Rob.
Yeah.
The one, the only, Rob Ferre.
Yeah.
DJ Rob.
Yes, and going into that really quickly, some people know me as Rob Ferre.
Ferre?
Yes, that's the proper French way to say it. My parents were Ferre for a while my dad was at his residency. He was in Atlanta doing residency. He returns home. My grandpa says to him, "You're now Richard Ferre?" And he's like, "You're no longer associated with me." And so my dad went back to being Richard Ferre, and my mom stayed Janice Ferre. So my mom's one person, my dad's another.
So how do you pronounce your name?
It just depends on where people see me.
Depends on which family reunion you're attending.
Or if I'm with my high school buddies. And the funny thing about it is, like, when people see me, my high school buddies, you always call people by their last name. "Hey, Jenkins, what's up?"
Yeah, right.
For me, it's, "Hey, Ferre, what's up?" And people are like, Why
do they call you a Ferre?
Exactly. Come on.
Oh, boy.
So, I don't know.
And it never gets old.
I know. And so,
right.
When I'm headlining somewhere, I think it might be Robert Ferre.
Depending on where you're headlining.
Exactly. I could just be DJ Rob. When I'm headlining an elementary school bash, it's DJ Rob.
There you go. Hey, but before we went to our break, Rob, we were talking about abundance and scarcity. And that is such a rich topic.
Yes.
Because people get trapped in scarcity and then and they close off, really.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of like putting a dam in a river.
Yeah.
And that water has nowhere to go and it starts to stagnate.
Yeah.
Becomes stale.
Yeah.
So the flow, I think, is more of an abundance mindset.
Uh-huh.
We were talking during the break a little bit about the National Speakers Association,
yes.
where you and I met and became acquainted.
Yeah.
Way back when. Well, do you want to share the history of that?
Do
you know
NSA?
Well enough with Cavett Roberts, our founder, and
no, I'm still very new to this.
Well, let me just let's
go
up,
into
and
it.
then you've got some directions you can take this.
Yeah,
Cavett Robert.
Yeah,
is the founder of the National Speakers Association, and way back when, and I can't even remember what year. I'm not real sharp on the history, but it was a time period when speakers. Mm-hmm. Motivational, inspirational, take the stage at the convention speakers.
Yeah.
A lot of them felt like, hey, there's only a limited number of jobs out there.
Yeah.
So there's this small pie, and we want to be exclusive and not let anybody else come into this space because that will leave less for us, right?
Yeah.
So this is an idea of scarcity.
Yeah.
And the founder of the association, Cavett Roberts, said, no, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
All we got to do is work together to build a bigger pie.
Uh-huh.
And I love that concept because that's a creation of abundance. And you've had some experience with this.
Well, how do we create abundance when you think there's a scarcity? You create a need. We need speakers at all our events. We need a DJ at all our events. We create a need for it. We create value with what we do. So we're creating better speakers throughout this country. People want these people at their events. Whereas before, it was just a dinner, maybe an awards ceremony, something to that.
The president of the company gets up and says a few words.
Exactly. But now there is more of a need for this because people are seeing amazing speakers, amazing entertainers at their events, and they're saying, this is a need now. We want to change it from being a commodity to a necessity.
Yeah.
And so by having better performers out there makes it a better need. And that's what I want to do with the American Disc Jockey Association. We actually have an association. And there's a lot of fighting because there's different associations or people want to create a new association because the association we have established right now is corrupt or they're not meeting our needs, whatever. And so I am in the mindset of instead of tearing something down, make it better.
Right, of course.
And I'm looking at what the NSA is doing, and I want to apply that to the American Disc Jockey Association. But I want to change that mindset of scarcity. Oh, no, I need to hoard all my nuggets and not tell anybody about what I do because they will steal those ideas and do it at their events. But nobody can replicate you. Nobody can replicate a Dr. Paul. There's only one Dr. Paul.
Thank heavens.
Exactly. There's only one DJ Rob.
Right.
People are going to hire me because they like what I do. There's only one Jason Hewlett out there. He's the only one who can stretch his face that way, right?
Right.
And so there's different skill sets, but there's different needs, and there's different things that people are looking for. And there's plenty of work for everybody.
And whatever your particular skill set is going to fit with some group of people.
Yeah.
Seth Godin calls this your tribe.
Yes, yeah.
And for you listeners, there's a book out by that title, Tribes.
Okay.
By Seth Godin, Godin. And he points out that whatever your particular skill package is, it's like you're the chief of this tribe, and they're your tribe. And if you don't show up and lead them, who will?
Yeah.
These are the people who uniquely appreciate and love whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
And not everybody's in your tribe.
Right. You can't do every event. You can't please every person. But you can do your best to be the best you. But when it comes to scarcity, we're also hoarding our nuggets, as I was saying earlier. And so I have learned from other people within my industry. The first guy that befriended me when I came into the Salt Lake market after leaving Orlando, his name was DJ Pauly. He's probably one of the top DJs here in Utah. He didn't hoard his nuggets. He befriended me. He gave me work. He saw what I was doing as well. He wanted to collaborate with me. He wanted me to be an ally, create allies, not enemies. And I'm going to be the biggest champion of him. If I can't do a gig, somebody comes my way and I say, well, guess what? DJ Pauly is the best around. If you're not getting me, you're getting DJ Pauly.
Right.
I am an advocate for my other fellow DJs instead of, well, sorry, you're going to have a terrible event because you can't have me and all the other DJs are terrible. And it's not the truth.
It's not.
Are you championing other speakers that can't? I mean, are we?
How do you think I fill up my show every week?
Oh, yeah.
There are amazing people like you
Yeah.
and every other guest that I've had on my show who have ideas that are different from mine.
Yeah.
And if I can help to illuminate those ideas for people and help you to shine, that's good for me.
Yeah. And there's this other guy named Scott Ferre. He lives in Arizona. He's called the Game Master. There's other DJs that do training that, you have to pay for. Scott Ferre gives out everything for free. And everybody loves him. He's a mentor to almost every DJ I know. He gives out his nuggets freely. And because of that, because of people like Scott Ferre and DJ Pauly and Elliott, I want to now give that out to my fellow DJs. I want to give them advice. I want them to be better DJs. And now I've found that in NSA. I've been there for a couple of months. People have approached me and said, what can I do to help? What can I help to do grow your business.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
And you're like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just that mindset that people, if there's a shift in that way, that there's not enough work for anybody and I got to be top dog, you're going to be top dog in your field, in your niche, in what you do. But if you can give me some nuggets and help me grow, I'm going to be a champion of you too.
That's right.
Dr. Paul gave me an opportunity to speak on his podcast. He's amazing.
Yes, thank you for that endorsement.
There you go.
But that's really how it works.
Yeah.
As we think in abundance, we start to create more abundance.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, of course.
So how does that trickle down to the entrepreneur, the business owner, the leader in an organization or a family?
You want to make your industry the best it is, right? You want everybody, you're a plumber. You want other plumbers to be good plumbers. Let's create a trade association. Let's create training. Let's make people better plumbers because we don't want those bad ones selling our business. We want people to be
representing our industry.
Right. Who's representing us? We want the best ones representing us. And we can't do all the work out there. So if you are willing to mentor somebody, to give somebody advice, share your best practices. And you can keep a couple of secrets to yourself, things that bring you a little bit of success, but best practices that will improve the entire association.
So you're saying it's okay to share.
Yes.
It's okay to share those good ideas that you have. And you know what, Rob? I am really excited about talking about all my good ideas. Yeah. Because none of them are mine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which ones are original? I don't know.
Exactly.
I learned everything that I know from mentors and clients and people that I've associated with. Yep. And I put my own unique spin on it. I add my personality to it. Yep. Just like you do with your shows. Yes. So listener, you take whatever your unique package is and apply it to the existing field of knowledge, which we all share. Yes. I think Stephen Covey was an amazing leader, and hardly any of his ideas were original. Yeah. If any. I mean,
you just know how to package it, right?
Timeless principles that he showed up and shared with everybody that he could reach. Yeah. So maybe if we're not quite so selfish and scarcity minded, we can realize everything that we've got is a gift to start with. Yeah. And then share those gifts. Yeah.
And another principle I learned from a networking company that I'm with, it's called Exit the Coliseum. This is part of Corporate Alliance. And leaving the Coliseum, quit being a gladiator and fighting within that Coliseum, because that's what the Coliseum is. Right. Gladiators fighting against gladiators.
Against each other.
Leave, join up together, and be a stronger unit together. Don't battle. Don't fight. Find a way to collaborate and become a better union.
That sounds so simple.
Yeah.
You know what? I just thought of an action item.
Yes. Ooh, are we going to challenge people right
Think
now?
about, yes.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
To live on purpose.
Yes.
Of all things. Think of a person, an entity, someone that you formerly considered to be an adversary. And find some way to +1 them, to add to their success. Is that a weird thing to suggest?
Yeah. And there's somebody within my industry that I need to do that with.
And I'm taking this on?
I
Challenge
know.
accepted?
Yeah. And I don't want to be a hypocrite and be like preaching something that I don't do. Yeah. Right? And so one thing I was thinking about doing, and this could be a challenge to anybody, but I want to do a letter a week. I'm going to write a letter to the people that have mentored me in my life. And then I'm even thinking about writing a letter to the people that I don't know, but I want to get to know better. Like this adversary, but who's not really an adversary, but somebody that I don't get along with particularly well. And so everybody's doing something right. If they have a successful business, they're doing something right.
They're doing something right. It might benefit you. Yeah. To collaborate a little bit.
Right.
Rob, you've opened our eyes to a few things.
Well, thank you.
How do people find you?
So there's a variety of different ways. Okay. My business right now, it's called Life of the Party. It's Life of the Party Entertainment. when I first bought my business, it's lifeattheparty.com was not there, so it's life-of-the-party.com.
Love that, yeah.
And then I'm currently working on a new website. It's robferre.com, so you'll be able to find that soon.
Spelled Ferre.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, robferre.com, and that will be live
Soon. Yes.
Maybe when you're listening to this, dear listener.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm located in Salt Lake City, Utah.
And you are available.
I am available.
For events, you bring an entertainment aspect to that. You want a game show.
Yes.
You want a DJ. But you also have a message that you can share from the mic.
Yes. So I'm doing a variety of things. Game show entertainment, interactive entertainment. And then my message, talking about my journey, my mentors, and getting rid of that scarcity. Creating abundance.
Yes. Create abundance in order to live on purpose. And it's that time, everybody. Go out there and live on purpose.